16. That, my friends, is the magic number. I want you to picture this. Stepping out onto the pitch in a suffocatingly humid stadium in Philadelphia, making his 100th cap for the French national team. Kylian Mbappe had one relentless, absolute focus: World Cup immortality. This wasn't just another group stage game. This was one man chasing the ghosts of football's past and the living legends of its present. Right, and that brings us to the ultimate question of this 2026 tournament. Can anyone actually catch Lionel Messi's all-time record of 18 World Cup goals? Mbappe was hungry for it. You could absolutely see it. But what unfolded next? Well, it wasn't just a straightforward record chase. It was a match plunged into absolute chaos, defined by a catastrophic 2-hour weather tempest, a soaked pitch, and ultimately a ruthless 3-0 masterclass. Welcome to Soccer Prime Tonight. I'll be guiding you through the story and the drama, and I'm joined by our tactical expert to break down the numbers. We are bringing you a premium documentary explainer of an unforgettable night in Philly. So let's dive into this incredible football story where the elements themselves tried and totally failed to stop the reigning kings of Europe.
Section 1. Calm before the storm. Mbappé's 100th cap.
So inside that stadium, the air was thick. Almost suffocatingly humid. You've got 68,000 fans packed in, watching Les Bleus march out. You could literally feel the magnitude of the moment. Mbappe's 100th cap, the weight of a nation on his shoulders, right as these really dark clouds started gathering overhead.
And tactically, looking at how managers Didier Deschamps and Graham Arnold set up, it was absolutely fascinating. France goes with a lethal 4-2-3-1. Just look at that front four: Ousmane Dembélé, Michael Olise, and Bradley Barcola, sitting right behind Mbappe. That is pure, terrifying pace. Now, Iraq countered with a 4-3-3, clearly designed to be brave on the ball. And crucially, their midfield featured Zidane Iqbal, making some major history himself as the first player of Pakistani heritage to start a World Cup match. Iraq wanted to press, but against that front line, man, that is a dangerous game to play.
Section 2. History calls for Kylian.
From the second the Canadian referee blew the opening whistle, France just dictated the tempo. The pressure was mounting with every single pass. Now, Iraq's defense was highly organized, incredibly brave, throwing bodies on the line, but, there's just an inevitability to this French side. When history calls for Kylian, the resistance usually crumbles.
Exactly. Let's map out the chronological chaos here, zeroing right in on the 14th minute. France was holding a stifling 65% possession early on. And the breakthrough? Absolute masterclass in simplicity. Michael Olise, operating so beautifully in that number 10 space, just effortlessly finds Mbappe right outside the box. Mbappe unleashes his fizzing, left-footed drive, catches the Iraqi keeper slightly unaware, and it blazes into the net to violently break the deadlock.
You could seriously feel the sheer weight of that first-half strike. That wasn't just a goal, it was a coronation. With that one swing of his left boot, Mbappe secured his 15th all-time World Cup goal. That puts him in an elite club of just 4 players to ever reach that mark. And if that wasn't enough, it cemented his record as France's all-time top scorer with 58 national goals. Absolute royalty, delivering exactly what the script demanded on his milestone night. But hey, we have to give immense credit to the Lions of Mesopotamia. Iraq didn't just roll over after going down. Right before the half, Hussein Ali pulls off this unbelievable last-ditch defensive slide on Mbappe right inside the penalty area. Denied what looked like a guaranteed second goal. Stunning display of bravery under immense pressure. But just as Iraq weathered the French attacks, a completely different kind of storm was brewing above them. Section 3. The 2-hour tempest. A biblical deluge. So, just as the players head toward the tunnel for the halftime whistle, those foreboding clouds finally burst. And I don't mean a light drizzle. It was a biblical deluge that totally altered the trajectory of the night. The stadium announcement echoed everywhere. With thunder and lightning present around the stadium, the game is currently suspended. 68,000 dripping fans were forced to evacuate the seating bowl to find shelter. The players are just sitting in the locker rooms, completely in limbo. We are talking about an unprecedented 2-hour delay right in the middle of a World Cup match. Right, so from an analytical standpoint, the crucial question here is, how does a saturated pitch change the tactical battle? Think about it. When you have 2 hours of heavy rain just sitting on the grass, the ball speed changes entirely. Ground passes literally stick in the puddles. Players fatigue way faster running on those heavy legs. And high pressing systems? Suddenly, they become incredibly risky because a single slip at the back can be fatal. Iraq had to drastically adapt their build-up play, and France had to maintain elite concentration despite this massive, massive disruption. Section 4. Capitalizing on chaos. So, over 2 hours later, the threat finally passes. We're back out on the pitch for the second half. The rain had subsided, sure, but the tension? Nowhere close. A refreshed French side immediately turned up the heat, basically smelling blood in the water and looking to capitalize on these bizarre conditions. And it happens in the 54th minute. That heavy pitch and high pressure forced exactly what France was waiting for, a catastrophic defensive error. Let's break down this turning point. You've got a botched short goal kick from the Iraqi keeper, Ahmed Basel, fired directly at his defender's feet. The ball is instantly intercepted high up the pitch by Ousmane Dembele. But instead of shooting, Dembele selflessly squares the ball directly across the penalty area. 16. Mbappe is right there waiting for the tap-in. It's an emotionally charged, gift-wrap moment that officially ties him with the great Miroslav Klose at 16 all-time World Cup goals. He is now breathing right down Lionel Messi's neck. The stadium, even after that grueling delay, absolutely erupted. The chase for history was well and truly on. Now let's move to the wings and see how this all builds, because we absolutely have to talk about the devastating creative partnership that won this game. Michael Elise, finishing with an 8.9 rating and 2 assists, completely dismantled Iraq's structure with his elite playmaking. And on the other side, Ousmane Dembele pulls an 8.6 rating, bagging a goal and an assist. Iraq's fullbacks just couldn't cope with that dual threat stretching their backline across the wet turf. And that brings us to the 66th minute. A moment of pure catharsis. After unselfishly setting up Mbappe earlier, Dembele finally gets his moment in the spotlight. Olise crafts this brilliant, effortless slide pass, and Dembele fires a powerful finish right into the bottom left corner. It was his first major tournament goal at the 20th time of asking. I mean, no way. The relief on his face said it all. The tournament curse was officially broken. If we look at the underlying data here, guys, the 3-0 scoreline was fully justified. France controlled 56% of the possession, but the real story is the expected goals, or XG. This metric measures the quality and likelihood of scoring chances. France systematically outcreated Iraq, with a 2.67 XG compared to Iraq's 0.63. They were clinical, they were dominant, and they punished every single Iraqi mistake in the final third. Truly a tactical suffocating of a brave Iraqi side. Section 5, the final verdict. As the final whistle blew, the emotional roller coaster of this 3.5-hour saga finally came to its natural conclusion. It was a massive test of endurance as much as skill, and Les Bleus passed with flying colors. So what does this final verdict actually mean for the rest of the tournament? Well, let's break down the tournament context. With this victory, France officially qualifies for the round of 32, sitting top of Group I with 6 points and a +5 goal differential. But right behind them is Norway, also sitting on 6 points with a +4 differential. This perfectly sets up a massive group decider between France and Norway on the final match day. For Iraq, despite their valiant defending, they sit at the bottom with 0 points, facing elimination. Just spotlighting our elite performers of the night to wrap up. Mbappe obviously takes top honors with a staggering 9.2 rating for his clinical finishing and those historical milestones. Elise and Dembele, they were the creative engines that made the attack purr. And we absolutely must give special tactical credit to Zidane Iqbal. With a 6.7 rating, his midfield bravery and ability to spin away from the relentless French press was a rare, shining bright spot for Iraq. Which leaves us with one final, provocative question. Will France ride this momentum to go all the way? And can Kylian Mbappé actually catch Lionel Messi's ultimate record of 18 World Cup goals? I mean, he's just 2 away. And on his 100th cap, he looked hungrier than ever. What a night of football. Thanks for joining us for this Soccer Prime Tonight Explainer. We'll see you for the next football story.